everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Soul Life Show. So today we have John Bertoli. I'll let you explain how we met because you describe it so well, but we did meet on a phone call conversation that happened at ESETI, but I'll let you jump straight into it. And if you could please tell us all about yourself, that would be great.
Okay. I guess I'd describe myself as a intuitive. I've had unique experiences or paranormal experiences my entire life. What's really interesting is recently I got activated while watching a video by Christine Day, and she was speaking in Pleiaden and using tones. And then what happened was, very often when I exercise, I'm kind of in a trance anyway. I meditate quite a bit. And I began answering her in this language. And it kind of honestly freaked me out at first because I'm like, all right, I'm kind of in a trance and she's speaking this language which I don't know. And I'm answering her in a language that's different from hers that I don't know or I've never heard before, but I'm completely fluent. So I kind of got freaked out about that, and I didn't say anything to anybody for quite a while. And I remember taking my voice recorder on my phone and said, I got to know what this sounds like. And I recorded it, and I played it back, and I started feeling the energy back, and I was like, okay, what is this? So I went into a lot of meditation. What that did is that at that moment, not only did I get activated, but it was a huge download, and they lifted an amazing amount of past life trauma. The energy going through my body was ridiculous. I was shaking and crying, and the emotion was amazing. But the language was just pouring out of me, and it took me a little while to really get a grasp on what that was. So then what I did is I went into some pretty deep meditations and studying with my guides. And from there, I have some pretty high-level guides, and they started telling me a little bit more about this language. And I said, well, I really want to talk to somebody else that knows about this language. So I'm in a meditation one day, and I asked that question, can I speak with someone? And this message, call ESETI, incredibly loud in my head. And I honestly believe I said it out loud. What? And it's call ESETI. And so I was just snapped out of that trance. And the next thing I know, I'm on the phone. And I always wanted to go there, by the way. I've been kind of studying James's work for probably about 7 years or so. And I've always wanted to go there. But logistically, it wasn't going to happen this year. It was just impossible. So I called ESETI, and this wonderful lady, Laura, answered the phone. And I said to her, hey, I have an unusual request. And she said, well, being at ESETI, probably not.
Lori, yeah.
And I said to her, well, I speak an unusual dialect of star language, and I'm not sure what it is. Is there anyone there who could ask, I could ask, do you know what this is or speak with? And she goes, can you describe it? And I just said, well, why don't I speak some? So I did. And she did. She felt the energy, and she's like, okay, let me take your name and number. And it wasn't very long at all that the phone rings, and you call me back.
Yeah.
Now, being that the way my mind works, I'm like, wow, somebody called me back, and I'm like, I'm talking so fast, and I'm like a little ways into our conversation, I said, what did you say your name was? And you said Solreta. I'm like, I know who you are, because I had watched your videos, and I was like, how cool is this? So then we started exchanging star language. Well, actually, you had asked me, what do you know about it? And I said, well, my guide said that it was a language for Arcturian, Syrian, Pleiadian. And it's very, very old. And through talking to you and our discernment and talking to guides, yes, it's a dialect of Ancient Pleiaden, but more so Ancient Pleiaden for Syrian, Arcturian, Pleiadian Starseeds and a particular group of Starseeds.
Yeah.
And so it's opened this whole thing up, and I was very anti-social media. I used to keep myself in a cave. Even though I'm a professional drummer and I perform, I was very reclusive and never talked about this stuff. After that conversation, you've inspired me to get on Facebook, and of course we've connected. And then I said, what about a YouTube channel? And you said, I keep hearing you, this repeats in my head. You have so much to share.
Yeah.
And I could keep hearing you say that. So, about 2 weeks from now, that YouTube channel will be up and running. So here I am.
And hence why we're doing today too, because you have so much to share.
Thank you so much.
And we picked a card. We picked one of the Syrian star cards before we started, and we got the card of hope. So this video is really for other starseeds out there today that might be in a similar situation to what you were in or to what I was in when I was younger, where, we are kind of living this alone. And this is encouragement for them to come out, to speak their languages, to reconnect with other starseeds, and to know that they're not alone. And in doing this, we're forming a whole grid that covers the whole entire Earth and connects up with the other star grids. So it's a really powerful thing. And you and I will actually speak Ancient Pleiaden today together, which will be amazing. Is there anything else that you wanted to say before we have a little Pleiaden conversation?
I just want to say that the language itself it's kind of like a catalyst or an interface.
Yeah.
I kind of look at it like an interface. It's the physical, metaphysical interface. And what that allows us to do is it really allows us to focus our intent. And so if we're doing a healing with this language, it's tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold, depending on the variables. But instead of just doing, say, an energetic healing, it allows us, and myself, the way I look at it, to access much higher levels of my consciousness immediately because of the mechanism of the language. So that's what I wanted to say.
That's what I get too with star language. I feel like it's actually bringing in and anchoring part of my like my true soul or oversoul or ET energy and soul into the physical body. So I actually feel more myself than I do in normal day-to-day conversation, because it's a language that's understood empathically. So anyone that's going to be watching this video out there, if they can really tune in empathically and with their feelings and just start to get into the vibration of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not for your intellect at all. It does not speak to your mind. It does not speak to your ego. It speaks directly to our souls. And it also, I think that a lot of it is the calibration of vibration, your signature or whatever. If you're open to these energies, it can be quite beautiful and activating and healing. It's not for everyone. It is specific. However, if you can be open, it is really one of the most incredible, beautiful experiences I've ever had.
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny because even though it is a language that speaks to the soul and the heart, you will sometimes receive visuals. So when you and I speak it to each other, I'm receiving visuals and seeing us actually, in the ancient Pleiadian days. I'm seeing beautiful temples that look almost like the Mayan temples. I think I was trying to describe it to you when we're at ESETI on the phone.
Yes.
So now I can actually show you visually. It's like, the Mayan pyramids sort of stepping up. I saw that, and I saw a lot of beautiful jungle and just a lot of beautiful ancient people with a lot of wisdom to share. But there was so much peace and empathy within them, and so much, I don't even know how to describe it in English. So let's just get through it with Pleiadian, and we'll see what happens, and we'll have a chat afterwards too.
Okay, I have one disclaimer.
Yeah.
This is extremely emotional to me because of the type of soul I am. I have heightened empathy. Mm-hmm. And when we talk about this, the exchanges of energy are quite intense. So I'm not going to hold anything back. If you see my tears, you see my tears. And
good.
I'm just encouraging others, the others to that just understand that there's no vulnerability in unity.
Yeah, very well said.
Having said that, my sister.
All right, let's get to it then. Did you want to start?
Why don't you start? Ladies first.
All right. Ia yarana yara takaya yarana yara takaya ya socorlu. Ia maha yara takahana tukaria. Ia yara tikatoria sakataya nakayana. Ia lena yara takaya inni yara takashkari yara are takari.
Me kota ashi eti nyama anye te ke he na hai le te kota mama ashi she we et kota mama hata ta ashi shine ma he la wa e sha ai ka ta mi na ne ta e she ela wa kwa la me ma hai na hata ka ashi sha alwe e nyama ma ha ka ke he la wa ta mi na asha e ta kai ma mi na ka hasha wa ta kwa eni me he la kota me he ta ka she alwe na mama ka ti na ma Zagenia.
Mia saya yani yara takaya yana yara takaya yara tokoyana ya. Ia la lena yara tarini no yara takaya yara takasena yara takaya yara. Ia la yara no yara takaya yara tokoya yara tokori. Mia yana yara takaya taka toko ia tokoya. Ia sarini nena yara no yara lila kerira tokorisna.
Shukwa ni ba we te ni te ta chi chi ata kota ni ma me ta ka chi cha de lo te bi be de ata kwa ni ta he jo wa la wa ta ko pa ni ma ma ha sha ni ka ta ni te ke te sha le wa ta kota ma ha ta a she she ni ha len ni ma ma e she she na ha ni da ni ko ta la ta ka pa ni te ta she je kota ma ha ta ka ni ta he she je ma he ta ka ata mi ala ko wa ta ka she ala ni ha ta ka ma he ta ka el wadia taka aisha shinin nihin maete lene wa aisha shawai ai taka jid wa etaka monia sha lami taka tabamaha ita shishama nita she eta te epe ni je kwa aisha shama linya yaenia
Mia sayana no ya yarnia taka ha yaratoka ha yana. Ya la ne ya hando ha ka. Ia yana ia tokahari ne ia tokahai. Ia sena ha lohana ai no kara. Me ha yana ia tokai ia tokahai. Ia lena na ia tokai na ia ta. Ia yana ha lana ko ia ia tokari. Me ha ne ia tokari ia tokahari ia tokari. Ia so yana ia tokari na ia tokari.
Sheko nya do aja wata tini hit tin ma ha zimia na ha ko ala wo ni nya nya ha ta shia le to ko anye zimma ni ma ha ko an ma ha ta shi ma je ko nya ta nya ma boeta zuwa ai te ma ho ko an ma ha shi ma nai ko ta ma an na shi nya ta ta ka sha nya te to wa nya me nya na ma zimia na kalau utama hata tani shine le kota mama tata anen she nyen me nya kwa she ada ai le utwa je jamais te kwa nya she de kwa ele tata ma nya je wa halwa she zinya ta a ze kwa ta ma to mi ta ka she mi ta ele ta ba ta she nya
me a shayo no ya.
Maha aziwa ene elehnya lanya eshe etqa lahemye zo awe azinyama tahi yena haya wel watataba zinya nahethe nyayisheni.
That was amazing. There's so much energy right now. How are you feeling after that?
Electric.
Oh my god. I think we need to describe like a new word for electric. Like galactically electric. Wow.
The release was amazing.
Yeah. Same.
It felt like we were meeting in the middle.
Yes. Yep.
You know, yeah. The energy exchange is crazy.
I'm just checking. I'm like, yep, we're still recording. Cool. Because I was just thinking maybe it's like paused or something after that.
Oh, I hope nobody interfered with that one. Yeah.
Was there anything that you like felt or experienced, you know, when we were speaking then? Because that was amazing.
When at first it started off, it was very much the communication. It seemed like it was like, okay, let's here we go. We lined up.
Yeah.
And then once we lined up, then the energy exchange began. And then once the emotion begins to exchange the emotion, I could feel every bit of your expression there. And as I was expressing back, it was just like, we had the little infinity thing going on there.
Oh my
and
God.
I think
Yes. Yes.
and the focal point between us, where the two languages meet, there's something really special, and we really need to look into that more and understand that, because I just that convergence point right there was multiplying the energy. It's the only way that I can describe what I was feeling there was when I'm near my twin.
Yeah.
The energy is so powerful when I'm physically near my twin. It was like the same intensity of the energy, the communications, and the emotion. It was like that. It's pretty intense.
It was majorly intense. Well, I'll describe a little bit about what I saw as well, because I'm really visual, so I always see things. I saw us like energetically raising up, and then what I saw was this, I don't even know how to describe the shape. It was like an oval shape, but really stretched out with the infinity in it. So when you said infinity then, I'm like, oh my God. And that, to me, it felt like a craft, or it felt like a meeting place. And then after that, that was when that emotion really picked up and our languages came together. And then I saw it was meeting with council. It was like going up to galactic council. And
did you have any colors involved in that?
There was a lot of blue and white. And then there was also, how do I describe it? Like a crystalline sort of purpley pink color that came in with the infinity as well, which is something that I see similar to the birth of the creation, or like the, how would you say it? Like the star seeding. Right,
yes. Wow. I was seeing a lot of purples.
Yeah.
I was seeing a lot of healing energies, but what I was seeing from you was a release of pent up emotion, and I think it's probably the energetic buildup of this, because we knew we were going to be doing this, and I felt that release. I saw
light up when you were saying too. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt, but with the healing side of it, you're spot on, because I saw all my chakras lighting up, but it was the crystalline galactic activation of working with those energies. Keep going with what you're saying.
Well, like when I feel those energies, it's kind of a flow of color.
Yeah.
I see this whole flow of color, and the Pleiaden and Arcturian energies have been very prevalent with us. The greens and the purples, and then they have the intertwine, the Christ pillars, the pillars of the Christ energy, and this time it was the silver energy or the white energy.
Yeah.
So that must have been what you were projecting. So I see the healing energies, or I was seeing the healing energies, but I saw the white in place of the gold that I'm normally seeing. So that must have been a complete projection from your part. I think that's really cool.
And I guess, like, how we're talking about before we went online, we're talking about like soul groups and colors and like how we both vibrate to blue. And it's funny because like blue's not my favorite color, but when I look at it from a soul level, I'm always seeing myself as like blue with like crystalline silver and white. So I think that was probably just like, I guess, my soul's influence or aspect, those colors coming through.
Absolutely. Well, the way I look at color is it's visual vibration, right?
Yeah.
And so these colors are very significant, and they're energies onto themselves. And if we can take these colors and understand them and interpret them correctly, they can really help us. It's like when when you did your hair color pink,
yeah,
and you had that picture of this, like, that resonates with me because of me holding the divine feminine energy.
Yeah.
So that type of thing, I mean, we didn't say this so far on while we're online, but I'm a twin, and I hold the divine feminine. My twin holds the masculine. So for anyone who doesn't understand that.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers out there, they'll understand what we're talking about in terms of that. And with the whole color thing too, I think I put out on a post or a video we did the other day, you know, in regards to colour, I feel like that colour is just majorly speaking to us at the moment. Like if we look at, we're in wintertime here in Melbourne, and what that means colour-wise is a lot of grey, a lot of black, you know, all of the dark colours is what people tend to dress in. And I almost feel a bit rebellious to that at the moment, probably part of the pink hair thing, but also I felt like a craving for like pink. It's like my soul was craving to eat pink. Like I was eating a lot of pink food, totally addicted to making orange raspberry smoothies because it's like the most beautiful kind of like raspberry color. So I'm like ingesting pink, you know, wearing pink, and it was like, I just really needed that for like 2 weeks, which was as long as I had pink hair for. It's like I could not get enough of pink, and nearly head to toe just about every day I had to wear pink. It was the most bizarre thing. But I feel like that it's almost like I'm topped up with that color right now.
I think that has to do with intent. I think that like those vibrations, you know, you needed that.
Yeah.
You know, and so you focused it, and what you did is you did it physically.
Yeah.
Which is also doing it emotionally.
Yeah.
And you focused it, and you created your triad through the light body by your intent.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm all about threes and the way the universe works.
Yeah.
So when I see things like that, I actually recognize them for what they are.
Mm.
And it's like what you were doing, you're recharging your batteries.
I was. That's exactly right. It was all about heart chakra, you know, sacred goddess energy, and just recharging and recalibrating all of that too. And I think colour is something that speaks to us similar to star language or ET light language, whatever like we want to call it. It really speaks to us on an emotional level. It can do and change things within us. There's a beautiful, amazing book called Let There Be Light that was written a long, long time ago. I think it's like in the 17th edition or printing now. And it talks about colour healing, but it talks about getting the specific tone of the colour exactly right. And there's been 3rd-degree burns and all sorts of things healed with colour. And Edgar Cayce talked about, you know, healing with colour being the way of the future. And I think sound healing comes into that as well. I think there's so much to be said with sound healing and its abilities.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up because I had an interesting weekend. Shortly after you and I connected, I went to a Hindi kirtan drumming.
Oh, cool.
And that was amazing because of it's all sound.
Yeah.
And it's all vibrational calibration. And I tell you, you have a room of 25 people doing those chants. It's powerful.
It is.
It was really, really cool. The very next day, I went to the National Spiritual Alliance, and they were singing Over the Rainbow. And there was that same common thread. Mm-hmm. That went where it doesn't matter what song you're singing. It's the vibrational alignment. Yeah. It's the calibration of everybody's energies. And that was an incredible experience in itself. And where the healers were there, and I went into a Pleiaden chant, and I called in many light beings, and Gabriel showed up. And one of my friends who was a master healer, she was doing a healing, she looked up and she saw him come through the door. And it was an amazing experience. And I was like, I didn't see him, I felt the energy.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's all about the alignment of sound. And when I look at the sound and I think about the language itself, I watch a lot of videos with other people that speak the languages, and I'm seeing another common thread is the way it affects us personally as on a physical level. So if you look at the language in a mechanical way.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of activation of the roof of the mouth or certain parts of the back of the throat. That type of stuff stimulates the pineal gland.
Yeah.
So what I get out of it is when I start speaking it immediately allows me to access that higher part of my consciousness through the physical mechanism as well. So there's the vibration and the projection of it. So as I'm doing a chant or I'm doing a blessing for someone, and I'm, and I'm projecting that energy or channeling whatever it may be the case, that physical aspect of it really helps focus intent. It's kind of like Reiki.
Yeah.
You know, when so what are we doing? We're creating that triad again from our physical body, emotional body, and then light body. And if we can do that, and I think that's another thing that this language does, is it ties all that together and it allows us to focus immediately. Boom, it's done. You know, that's what I get out of it.
Yeah, and that links in with a lot of my work that I do and a lot of my teaching with the sinuses and how our body is like a body computer or like the hardware. And when we bring in the language, it's really activating and bringing in the light, which is the software. And we hold and resonate a lot of this within our sinuses, which is the sphenoid bone, which I've talked about on a few other things. But basically, it's a butterfly shape, which is for transformation. So we're really activating that transformation from the physical into the spiritual worlds.
I wholeheartedly agree. I look at it this way. When I first started doing it, I wasn't quite sure what it was and everything. And so it took me a couple months to really get into it and get really into talking to my guides and understanding the depth of it. And then I had this one particular session where I was speaking to Michael, and collectively, all the angelics, they kind of read me the manual, so to speak. And I was all kinds of humbled. And I was like, oh, no pressure, guys. But here it is. This is what it does. This is what you can do with it. This is how not to use it. And like if I have say there's a particular difficult person that I want to see, are they at all open? I'll ask, is it okay if I use it on them? Because it's a divine gift. And I am so respectful of it. I will not do anything that is against the light in any way. You know, I'm very careful of that, and I'm humbled by it. So I asked it, you know, is it okay for me to do this? And said, yeah. And I walked up to him, and he goes, what the hell is that? I said, never mind, you answered my question, I gotta go.
I would have liked to have seen his face.
Okay, this is someone who claims to be the most educated person on the planet, far higher intellect than the rest of us. And I'm like, well, then you should be able to figure out what this is. And it was just what it did to me. It was kind of a joke at the same time. Yes, I knew he wouldn't figure it out, you know. But it also gives me the ability, and I'm sure it gives you the same thing, is for discernment and to see where people are, and are they open to these energies or not?
Yeah.
I mean, my own son he's completely closed to these energies, where there are people that I didn't think at all would be spiritual, that I light them up like a Christmas tree if I do a blessing for them.
That's a good way to describe it too.
No.
That is a perfect way to describe it.
Whoa!
I wanted to ask you too, because you're a drummer, and do you feel like, because you understand music, so you understand vibration and things too, do you feel like that being a drummer gives you like a better depth of understanding to do with the music and how it affects the soul and the language coming into the body too?
Music to me is a pure expression of emotion.
Yeah.
And because I play very instinctually, I'm not the kind of guy that is going to sit there and do this whole schooling thing. You know, I mean, I learn through the playing itself as opposed to, you know, really structured. I've never taken a lesson. Well, anyway, I'm self-taught, but that way.
That's the same as Pete too. You guys have so much in common. It's ridiculous.
That's why I feel so comfortable talking to him, you know. But yes, the understanding of music and the understanding of expression of the energies and the emotion of those energies. Now, the other thing that I find that is the expression of emotion within this language. Like when I was learning to use the tools of this language, this is what they used to do. Some of my guides would say, we're going to ask you a question in English and you need to answer it in Pleiadian. And I said, okay. So we do this, and after a little while, I was like, why are we doing this? And it taught me to actually focus my intent for using the language and get better at it.
Yeah.
Now, like I'll go on a 20-mile bike ride, and I'll chant the entire way.
Yeah.
You know, and it's beautiful, and it's just such a centering and peaceful thing. I was like, I connected with a really cool, very spiritual person by the name of Nakoma, who's over in Australia. And he was like, you are so lucky speaking this language. We've had some great conversations. And what he's done by saying these things to me and in our conversation is really made me reflect and understand that the importance of this language and how I can affect others and how I can help others. And feeling so isolated for so long, and I'm like, this sucks. Nobody should have to feel this way. And I know I'm not the only starseed out here who is speaking these languages that hasn't come out and shared it. And the purpose of these languages is to heal, to activate, share, and express, and do what we can to help other people's ascent. So that's why I'm doing this, because if I can help any one person, just one person at all, come out and feel that, you do have star family. You are not alone, and there are many others like you, and you can talk to us all, and we feel the same way, then I've done my job. Yeah. And that's all I ask.
And that's why I think the Christmas tree analogy is a really good way of describing it, because I think you're going to be putting lights up all around the earth.
I hope so.
I'm going to be interested to hear the feedback you get after the show too. And
I want to thank you too, because this is a great way to actually launch my channel by appearing on your show first, and then in about 2 weeks the channel's called We Speak, and We Speak is about all starseeds that speak the languages, interpret them, or are affected by them. Yeah. Anybody in that category, all of us are a family. Let's help each other, and that's it.
Oh, I love it. We're all family.
Yes, we are. Yeah. And it's been wonderful actually, connecting with you guys. And I mean, that simple phone call, that's a snowball effect in itself. I've been able to connect with so many other people that, it's like you and Pete are great. I've been conversing with Barry and Seth, and I mean, it's really interesting to be able to, not only interesting, but I'm very thankful to have you guys and be able to talk to you guys, because holding in this information for so long, feeling isolated by it, it's awful. Yeah. And now it's a big release, like when we were just, speaking in our native tongues, that release, that's what I'm talking about right there, that exact emotion, because we've held this in. Yeah. And I know you speak the star speech, but you're not always able to converse with another starseed. And that when we had that exchange of energy, that is so important. I think also what that does is that helps us raise our the fundamental vibration of ourselves. Yeah. The more that we can converse and activate, obviously we activate each other, but those that are listening to this video, blessings to all of you. And this is not just for us. This is for you more so than it is for us, even though we get great benefit from it. It's all about giving, and it's all about sharing our beautiful gifts. Yeah.
And it's amazing, just a reminder for the impact that it does have as well. Was I said to you just before we started the show that I was speaking the other night, it was like around midnight my time, and you're like, that makes sense, because it was like 2:00 my time, and you were saying that you were feeling it. So this, this does cut through across space and time. There is no boundary with speaking this kind of language. It is felt, across the other side of the world, because I'm in Australia, in Melbourne, and you're over in the States.
And I'm in Massachusetts. Yeah. But the connection is, I can feel your energy now. I'm my whole body is tingling.
Mine too.
It's like as soon as number one, whenever I speak the language, I can feel my crown chakra open right up and immediately. Do you get that tingling?
Yeah, it's still going now. It's still vibrating.
Yeah, and it's, that was just the last time we did it. It's like all these synchronicities lining up here. It's like none of this is an accident.
No.
It's and for that whole series of events, that one phone call to snowball into what it has. And I have so many people that are friends of mine, and then some people coming out of the woodwork that I didn't think were spiritual that are so excited to watch this video. And just like, you know, it's like, I can't believe you're going to do this. And, you know, I've had people telling me, you can't do that. Well, too late. I already did.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can't say this. I had the whole campaign against me, you know, people trying to stop me, and then dark entities trying to stop me. It's like, listen, I'm a warrior of the light.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming to help. You know, this is why I came. At 51 years old, at the end of this month, I'll be 51 years old. I have peace that I have never felt before in my life because of the activation, the knowing, and the beautiful gifts I've been given to share these people. And I know I've had that super terrible unrest my entire life. And to finally know why that energy is there, what to do with it. Because, you know, can't you sit still? No, I can't sit still. I have this burning inside me. I haven't slowed down at all. I'm an old man, and I still can run like hell. You know,
it's just old.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like it's all about this awakening, and the more of us that awaken, that's what brings tears to my eyes. That's the emotion when I see people coming out of this dark hole and really just waking up, and you know, and you see that spirit, and you see them just dump the garbage. It's just like, you know, so much of it's like we're getting so close here that, you know, it's unbelievable.
And can you just describe a little bit about, for other people out there that are, you know, kind of feeling shy in talking about this sort of stuff, or in coming out of like the galactic closet, can you just describe like a little bit of the relief that you feel, or how, like, do you feel like a totally different person now? You know, being able to just talk about this stuff, and it, you know, do you wish that you did it earlier? That you came out earlier with it?
I don't think I was ready earlier because I didn't have the understanding. It came out exactly when it was supposed to.
That's good.
But do I feel a relief? It's more than a release. It's more than a relief. It's a peace. It's a beautiful warmth, and it's a knowing of your purpose. You see, when I can help somebody, and I actually feel somebody that's activated. Like, let me give you an example. Very close friend of mine, and he won't mind me mentioning him. He's an international sound tech, Chris Bruning. I had an activation. He's in Denver right now, or Denver area. He asked for an activation, and I gave him an activation over the phone. It, use my term again, lit him up like a Christmas tree, okay? He was bilocational for at least a full day. He had never had that part of his consciousness open and stay open while he's trying to go through his daily life. It was at least 2.5 months before he was ready for another one. He's like, I'm not ready for that yet. I said, Chris, are you ready for one? He's like, not yet. But then when he was ready, you know. So we all fall in when we're supposed to. Yeah. And so the relief that is, do I feel a relief from this and coming out? And how would I talk to others? By all means, start talking about it. It's incredibly therapeutic, number one. Just in your psyche alone. Yeah. The other thing too is because you have a purpose. These are divine gifts. They're not there for no reason. We're meant to do things and help others with these divine gifts. So you're feeling the unrest because you're not using those gifts for what your purpose is, and you're not following your purpose. And that's what I felt. Yeah. So by coming out and being able to do these things, yes, it's been an incredible release. But it's also there's a warming. You get back. You know, when you give, you know, it's just like, you know what I mean? You know, it's just like, because like when like I'm gonna look you dead in the eye, and I want you to keep your eyes open for a minute, okay? Do you
know what I just felt then? My whole body just went almost crystalline. I actually saw like more the crystalline part of my soul and my energy more than the physical structure. And I'm actually holding a crystal right now. It's like I look like this when you were just talking. I totally forgot on the human level what I was going to say. but that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling.
And that's why that's exactly what I wanted to do there. Now, here's something that's really interesting. How many years have you been speaking this language?
Oh, since I was a kid, but I guess out of the galactic closet at age 21, I'm about to turn 36. So quite a while now.
Okay, I've been speaking it about eight months. And there's no difference in the power.
No, there's not. Because you're coming in, it's coming in from a soul level. So it's the same,
my point.
Whether we've spoken it for a long time or whether it's like, and that's what's important for everyone to know too, is that, it doesn't matter like if you're just starting to speak it. And I think you're such a good example for that, like the power that can come through.
When you speak it, you're remembering who you are. When I had that first activation, it was the doors opened up and I couldn't tell you how many past life memories came back.
It does. And it activates all of your lifetimes, soul memories, like experiences on and off world.
Incredible. But those experiences and having those memories, the wisdom that from those memories comes with you.
Yeah.
So, and then, like, I've spoken this language in many, many, many lifetimes.
Yeah.
It's just I just started speaking it, and I just remembered that I can speak this in this lifetime. My buddy Nakoma says, what's it like, or this and that and the other thing. I'm like, I would rather speak it than English because it makes me feel more at home.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel, and a lot of the other starseeds that I've talked to out there feel exactly the same too. That English is not the first language.
No, I've been watching like Tim Zeifer. Am I saying his last name correctly?
I caught up with him yesterday. He's a really good friend of ours.
Interesting thing about like when we were talking about the mechanism and how he does all the clicks and the whistles and things in the beginning, and I think that's all his alignment.
Yeah.
It's like and I'm seeing these commonalities through this voice, and these different. All of us have a different skill set. Yeah. All of us have these languages, and we all have different purposes for using these languages, but they do intertwine.
Yeah.
And the fact that you and I can affect each other so much, but here's the interesting thing: we're affecting each other so much. What about the energy that is radiating out from us, and how many we're going to affect? And hopefully we'll activate people, and they'll suddenly spontaneously begin speaking their star language as well. These are my hopes.
You reminded me of exactly what I was going to say before I got that little activation from you then. So if you Google the word Pentecostal, which is kind of like the church's way of saying speaking in tongues, if you Google that and it talks about like what I found on the internet as well, which is meant to be in the Bible, they talk about those that come here or are born onto the earth that speak in tongues. And they talk about it being like a God-given gift. Then they also talk about, I can't remember the exact way that they describe it. There's another word to describe those that are activated by people that speak tongues and then go on to speak in tongues and activate people. So you're essentially causing like a flood of this.
Well, that's actually one of the things that in the introduction to my YouTube channel, it's basically, the more of us that come out will activate others who activate others.
Yeah.
And, and my hopes in creating that channel is to create some type of at least a focal point where we can start dialogue around, and others will come and, send me the links to your channel. Do you speak? Yes, I'll subscribe. You subscribe to me, and we can get this community going, and then we can, fold over into other social medias.
Yeah.
But I think what, like my main purpose of, this interview in particular and the subsequent videos I'll release are to try and encourage the starseeds that are not coming out right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it does take a lot of courage. Yes. Are we going to take a bunch of abuse? Yeah, we are. Do I care? No, I don't.
Yeah.
Not a bit. Because you can give me all the negativity you want. Because the ones, if like I said, if we activate and we help, that's my purpose, and I'm achieving my purpose. And these beautiful languages, and I this is interesting because I have studied and went on, and I could not find anybody who speaks my dialect.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, why can't I, find anybody? And finally, the answer was, it's a very specific dialect.
It is.
And like I've heard other Pleiadian, and there are several people speak the same dialect Pleiadian. It's like, okay, well, so I actually speak a dialect of Ancient Pleiadian, and it's my understanding that there are many, many dialects within the Pleiadian languages, So, and because of, DNA manipulation and so forth, there's a million different things.
Yeah.
And I'm also, because I'm a mutt, and I also have Syrian, Arturian, Lyran, and I happen to know that I also have some reptilian in there as well, because of an experience that I've had with some guides, and that'll be on a video. That's a cool story in itself. But and how many out there are feeling these different, okay, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Why am I the only one that feels this way? I'm looking around, I'm looking at my family. Nobody feels like I'm completely isolated. Horrible, horrible feeling. And I made that video to you guys. I was feeling those exact emotions when I sent you that video. And I said, listen, it's like, I love this. And you all came back to me with the same thing. My question was, okay, this is great. It's awesome to be able to communicate. How do you deal with the isolation part of it? Because this is one of the harder parts. Yeah. You all came back with, get online and communicate with others.
Yeah.
And it was...
Because we're scattered.
Thank you.
A lot of us starseeds are scattered to where, Pete and I, we weren't living in the same state when we first met online. He's had to move to come and live, where I live. And he speaks Orion. He doesn't speak it very often, but he speaks it.
Does he?
Yeah. So he's still getting used to talking about it. And, so I encourage others to speak about it. But yeah, it's so good these days that we can hop online and speak it.
How is he affected by your Syrian speech?
He loves it.
He's energetically affected as well?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it gets major, I guess, body feelings, downloads. So for me as well, talking about different dialects and things like that, I always feel that the soul's overtone or the soul's influence comes into whatever language we're speaking. And so to translate that, we use our soul to understand or translate that as well. And that's why we can speak usually more than, there is some of us out there that speak more than one language or understand more than one. Yeah, I know you do. And I meant to ask you as well, have you spoken it in a group before? Because when you speak it in a group, and sometimes even just one-on-one, it's like the whole 3D reality starts to just dissolve. And it's almost like you're standing in the middle of a galaxy somewhere, whole time and space, everything stretches out and changes. It's like that illusion drops away. Have you experienced that same sort of thing?
Absolutely. When I finally decided that I wasn't going to get freaked out about speaking this language in front of people.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no fear whatsoever now. I'll say it in front of 1,000 people.
Yeah.
But I've had groups of 25 people where I've done a blessing.
Awesome.
And I've gone around and done a blessing for each one, and I can feel who's aligned and who's not. And that was that Kirtan drumming thing. So they were all very open people.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can feel that energy going around, and the ones that are really receptive to it, they return.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
Yes.
You feel the full return of the energy? Yeah. And that's really cool. I also find that as far as the other dialects are concerned, very often that only comes out if I'm in, say, a chant. If I'm in a chant, or if I'm in like I sent you that blessing in the middle of the night. I couldn't sleep. They were hammering me. Something told, they were saying, you need to do this blessing. Now, I only told you it was a blessing, but you said thank you for the blessing and protection.
Yes. Oh, I was wondering if you were going to bring that up, because I felt that.
And now you saw the symbolism. Now that dialect right there, that was very aggressive, and some of them are,
But that's what I felt that I needed at the time too. Sorry to interrupt, but when you said that to me, I'm like, that's exactly what I felt that I needed at the time too. I'm like, you read into it on another level, gave me the language, and I so felt it.
It was like I was physically exhausted, came off of really long hours at work and everything, and I just couldn't sleep. They were hammering me. You need to do this. You need to do this. I dragged myself out of bed, and I said, okay, I'm going to do this. And, and I was droopy as hell. And then I watched the video back, but once I started speaking the language, the energy just came into my body.
Yeah.
And then when I finished the blessing, then it went right back out of my body, But it was like that connection. I mean, ever since we talked on the phone and we exchanged our native tongues, that connection can't be broken at this point. I mean, and so I don't know what was going on at the time, but my oversoul did and said, you need to send that blessing to Saul and Peter. And it was for both you guys. And I've gotten to the point where I just, when spirit talks or my guides, say things out loud, I just listen and do it. I just accept it. And because if I don't, then I go back to 3D.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing it.
3D sucks, Sometimes.
It's not as much fun in some ways.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously a great part of us, and that's why we're here and all. But, there's times when I'll go into a meditation and I don't want to come back. Bill talks about that, not wanting to come back, because you're so blissed out and you bring your consciousness to a place where there is no negative energies, and it's just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And that's another important thing to bring up too, is that, for other people out there that might be experiencing things that we've talked about, that's one thing that helps is doing a clearing, always clearing, and then meditation for sure. Like, it definitely helps to maintain that kind of level of consciousness. But not only that, it helps to then filter out and realize like what is coming from your consciousness, what is being projected, possibly from media, targeting, even from government, things like that. It's
especially.
Really, because that kind of happens when you come out of the galactic closet in that way. But it's really important to meditate. So for anyone that might be struggling with, trying to deal with this, like these two realities, meditation definitely helps to balance it out.
I'm glad you brought that up, is like the balancing, like when you first really start to, I was always awake, but not like this, not after that activation. And it was like one activation, and then it was followed by several really, really intense activations with, I want to say 3 or 4 months of purging. That was awful. All that past trauma. And then, interesting enough, I also, I don't know why I did this before I incarnated, but decided to purge for my twin as well. So 2 lifetimes worth of purging, to bring me to this point. And it was terrible, but being able to get here where I am now and be able to express, I'm like, there's a lot of people out there. I'm sorry, I completely just went off topic. Just got a couple messages. Can I just say I just got a message that kind of just interrupted me?
Yeah, sure. Don't worry, I work the same way.
I'm sorry. It starts with Pleiaden.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get that, and they're loud. So I guess I'm going to share.
Cool.
This is a blessing for all of you that have not spoken. You are all protected. You are truly loved in every way. Join us. The light is pure.
It's funny, as soon as you said that you had a message, what I heard and saw was like clearing out the fears. Like really like sweeping them out. This is going to be a cool video for people to watch for activations.
I hope they enjoy this, and I hope it helps someone. It's been pretty incredible.
So we've got about 5 minutes left. Did you want to talk about like where people will be able to find your videos and different things? Do they just, are they able to contact you on Facebook as well?
Yes, my Facebook is John, John Bertoli, Bertoli. It says drummer / Pleiaden Starseed.
Cool. We'll put a link to that too.
You can get me there. And then the YouTube channel is called We Speak. And it'll be We Speak plus my name, John Bertoli. It should be released within 2 weeks. I have several videos that I'm going to release all at once, and it's just sharing my experiences and some experiences I've had with some close friends of mine, some very spiritual people, and how the star language has actually affected them. That's really, really cool. And how, like my friend Bill here, how those sessions progressed and just came to ridiculous heights using the language and things like that. And I'm just going to talk about things that happened to me, and hopefully that'll resonate with someone, and they can speak as well. And then each one will also have a blessing, a clearing,
Cool.
and a message.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on my show today. It's just been such a joy and so beautiful to be able to connect and speak star language with someone else. It's just a pleasure, and it's been beautiful.
I'd like to just say the last thing is to my star sister. From my heart to yours. Love you very much. Thank you so much for all your help, all your support. Love to Peter.
Oh, thank you. So from my heart to your heart, just major respect, and thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us, and for being so brave.
Thank you so much. It's not bravery, it's love for all.
It is, definitely. Well, we look forward to seeing your channel and your show. So thanks everyone too for watching today, and make sure to chat to John, send him any of your questions, or, if you want to say anything or anything you picked up on the show with the language and that too. Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what others have to say. So thank you.
Thank you.